Hey guys, welcome back, and today we have a really interesting story. Not long ago we revealed all three versions of the upcoming Tablet 8, including the Tablet 8 Ultra. Now it has become apparent that Apple has already deployed engineers, and check this out, designers exploring features of the Tablet 8 Ultra. You know why? They want to find out what features they can possibly apply to the next upcoming M2 iPad Pro lineup. Yes, and when we conducted our survey for you guys, we simply wanted to find out which version of the Tablet 8 you would go after. You pretty much said it is the Tablet 8 Ultra or go home. And it's not just our survey, and we have a lot of people saying, well, you are a Samsung channel and you do a lot of Samsung stuff, but look at the data. The data doesn't lie. This is Google data. What I'm going to show you is basically the trend of the Tablet 8 and the Tablet 8 Ultra over the last year, the previous year. And you can see it's going up, no matter what I say, no matter what the survey says. And I find this totally fascinating. I really do. I find this fascinating for the simple reason it has a larger display. It has that 14.6-inch display, and it is thinner, admittedly, but still large. But so many people are looking forward to this release, no matter what. And you know what? Rightly so. After careful consideration, I can second what you guys desire, which I will, for many reasons, which I will explain in a different video for you. But going back to the iPad Pro and looking at the 12.9-inch M1 iPad Pro lineup, it is obviously really clear that this is designed for a niche market out there. Because who in their right mind will go for a 2 terabyte version of this device for $2,500 when the iPad OS 15 release, well, the release will come out this fall, but the release was the biggest iPad OS sleeper release in Apple's history. And you know what it feels like? It feels like Apple will never set the iPad free. And you know what? This could simply be a reason why Apple is exploring the larger iPads, which I'm saying could be anything between 14-inch and 16-inch in size. I am simply using what every handyman should have at home, and this is what your 16-inch iPad Pro could look like, and it is pretty big, but also highly intriguing. And this would be significantly bigger than the 12.9-inch iPad Pro I have here, and it would probably rival also in terms of size. It would rival the MacBook Pro lineup for sure. But it would also rival the Tablet 8 Ultra with these 14.6-inch screens, supposedly really thin, which I can see actually happening looking at the latest release of the Galaxy Book Pro 360 15-inch, and that is super thin and super handy. So I can see this happening, being a super thin device, the Tablet 8 Ultra, but it will also be a rival to that 14 to 16-inch iPad Pro Apple is thinking about. And realistically, the larger iPads would really be testing the ergonomics, like for comfortably holding and using a tablet. Because when you look at this 12.9-inch iPad Pro here, it is already tricky to hold for a long time. Never mind the magic keyboard on this baby here. And if you consider the weight of all this, this is pretty heavy. And when you then combine this larger, you add a couple of inches and a larger 14 to 16-inch screen, which would be massive. I would probably go for the 14-inch, but let's see, or let's say they also have a magic keyboard to market this again as a computer replacement, then this would probably be much heavier than the MacBook Pro 16-inch as of today, or 15-inch, 16-inch. You know which one. Any of them, really. But according to Mark Gurman, which is really a credible Apple leaker, this would appeal to many iPad Pro users, he says, including himself. And look, I agree to a certain extent. However, iPad OS in its current state will make this large chopping board a fail. Unless Apple would allow the larger iPad Pro to adopt some Mac-like features or Mac-like Pro apps, then this would be a completely different game altogether. Like Mac apps or movable windows, which you cannot find right now on the iPad Pro, the one I have here with iPad OS 15. It's not there. But if you had this on a bigger, larger iPad Pro, this would make totally sense, of course. And sure, people who bought a 2 terabyte version, maybe it's you who bought a 2 terabyte version for $2,500, they're probably gonna go after the 14-inch version, no matter what. It doesn't matter what's on there, as long as it's good for Netflix, and in the pandemic and the Wi-Fi maybe not working, you can still watch because everything is on your iPad. But look, for the enterprise market, I cannot see this happening. This is a demographic that is probably going to say, no, for this price and the capabilities you do not give me, it's just not happening. And this is where I can see Samsung succeed with the Tab S8 Ultra with a larger screen, but they have to really get in line with their Pro apps. They have to get their development in check in order to do so. But one thing they definitely do not have to worry about, and that is internal product competition, because they simply don't have something like a MacBook Pro they have to protect in order to blast this out. But the development for Pro apps really have to be step up like here. And Apple, of course, is also looking to implement an OLED screen, and fancy that there's obviously no way around this, but it will apparently appear in the next iPad Air version, and then it will make its way to the iPad Pro and possibly to the large 14 to 16 inch iPad Pro Max. So look, realistically, none of them are Pro yet, and as long as this is happening, it doesn't matter how thin, how big, how fast any hardware is, with all the software limitation we currently have. And look, whoever is going to enable this first is going to have the upper hand, no matter, regardless of the market share as of today. Hey, yeah, you. Let me know your thoughts about the trend of the larger tablets, the market that's really evolving right now. Let me know your thoughts. You know, I'm interested in that and what you guys think about it. So until next time, I miss you. Peace out.